So our cultural infrastructure is not as historic as many countries, which is now beneficial because it's more flexible and more agile than traditionally large institutions. Of course, we have a national theatre and a national gallery, which go back to the last century. And actually, some of those institutions, which I'm sure is similar here, have more difficulties in changing to the kind of the new economy. We are in a new economy. We have to do business differently, whether we like it or not. An artist has a tax-free status. Until 5 years ago, all artists' income in Ireland was tax-free. That was an incredible act of government and government policy to enable Irish artists to not have to take other employment. In about 4 years ago, they pay tax for an income over 40,000, but that's still higher than the average wage in Ireland. Our cultural environment in Ireland is very highly centralised. We're a small country, so most decision making comes from Dublin. And I think in Ireland, we recognise that that's the best scenario for a country of 6 million. And actually, we're quite proud of our capital city in the main. There is competition between my city as second city and Dublin, a healthy competition. Infrastructures for promoting Ireland abroad has been the Irish Embassy Network. It's a huge network in most countries of the world. And the ambassadors in particular, Irish ambassadors have been, and the third other key thing that we do is we organise culture programmes around state visits. And I know the ambassador mentioned President McAleese was here in 2011. Michael D. Higgins, our current president, is making our government's first ever state visit to England in 3 months' time, in April. So we've been tasked with organising the culture programme. What has Ireland done and what have we done culturally? Ireland very cleverly in 2009 created a global Irish diaspora economic forum, and it brought 300 world leaders who were considered to be Irish together. They've met 3 times for free to look at how can we solve Ireland's problem, how can we kind of think about getting Ireland out of this. And actually artists were very much in the middle of that, and they always have been. We created a position of a global cultural ambassador. One of the main things that Ireland has done very well, we've put artists at the centre internationally. I think we've trusted our artists actually, we've not tried to control them. So we've actually heeded what they've said. We've kept artists close to the chair of the organisation that promotes Ireland abroad. We've linked very closely with our embassies, which provide us with that context, that cultural diplomacy. We've tried very hard to get our politicians to understand that art is a process, it's not a product. There are many challenges, and our policy makers have cut our funding. I would urge them, like here, you have to invest. Now that our economy is beginning to slightly change, we need to see the money coming back in, because the danger is that actually we've achieved very well during the recession for Ireland. We've really overachieved as a cultural sector. So the politicians are saying, well, maybe you've done so well, do you really need all that money? Whereas actually we are now at a skeletal, and I'm sure that's very familiar for you. And if you de-invest after investing quite a lot of money, you wipe out about 20 years of investment.